Elliotte Friedman, on his 32 Thoughts written piece today, had 2 notes on the Blackhawks. 1, they're looking for a center. And 2, center from Philadelphia, Morgan Frost, might make a lot of sense for them and Nashville. Thoughts on this? This is something that's very intriguing. When we did our one trade you would make conversation, Greg, you specifically picked Morgan Frost. Mario was going to, but you stole his thunder. So let's talk it out a little bit here before we wrap the show up.
Well, I mean, it's a guy that fits what the Hawks are looking for. 25 years old, I believe, still has a lot of potential and is hitting that prime of his career. He'll be an RFA at the end of the year, so you'll be able to get an extension together for him. He's been a healthy scratch the last 5 games. It'll be interesting to see if he plays Saturday against the Blackhawks. Maybe they'll put him out there for a scouting report, maybe drive that trade value up.
Maybe.
And Jay, you said it while we were talking about it in the press box before the game. You were like, if it was any other coach, I'd be worried about the 5 straight games of being a healthy scratch. But as we know, John Tortorella can be a little bullish when it comes to playing time. So, listen, they don't want him. Well, the Blackhawks will take him. That's the type of guy they want. His offensive numbers don't necessarily jump off the page, but he can win faceoffs. Center is his natural position. He can play 200-foot type of game. There we go. There's the trade. 2 second-round picks, I think, would easily get that trade done, especially for a guy they're not even playing. You give him one of the picks from this year and next year, and it still leaves you with 3 picks. I think they have 5 second-round picks over the next 2 years. Part of the reason you require that many picks is to use them to acquire things you need.
Yep.
You can't have 55 players drafted and they to fill 22 roster spots. So I'm for it. Make it happen. Get it done. Do it Saturday morning so he could play for the Blackhawks against the Flyers.
Just switch locker rooms.
Well, look, I mean, center is so important. I heard Jeff Merrick was on with our pals at What Chaos today, and they were trying to figure out, what is going on with the Predators, and he said they're not good enough down the middle. They don't have enough center depth, and it's killing them. And, who's the one who did they lose center-wise last year? The name is escaping me. But regardless, outside of Ryan O'Reilly, they don't have a ton of great centers. And you look at the Hawks, even the prospects the Hawks have, who are you sure is a center? You're not sure about Nazar. You're not sure about Moore.
I think Boisvert
seems to be a center.
Yeah.
It's based on his size and everything.
Yeah.
And maybe they draft one here. But look, as I said, Kachucks don't grow on trees. 25-year-old proven success NHL centers don't grow on trees. And look, Morgan Frost, if you re-up him, is not going to cost you $8, $9, $10 million a year.
No.
And if it turns out that he is a 40, 50-point guy, which is what he has shown, when you're ready to contend, then fine, he's your third-line center. And that's perfectly fine. You can never have too much center depth. The Hawks have 0 center depth.
Yeah.
I think it makes a lot of sense, but this is the one thing that we've not really seen Kyle Davidson do is take big draft assets like a second-round pick or 2 and trade them to get someone that's going to be here for a long time.
Yeah.
It's kind of the last box to check for him.
He's 50% at the dot over the last 2 seasons. That
would be helpful.
That's Hall of Famer on the Blackhawks right now. So imagine having 2 lines, Jason Dickinson and Morgan Frost, that could actually win a faceoff and have some zone possession. Then maybe you could play Morgan Frost with Connor Bedard to win faceoffs and have a younger guy with some speed on that line. Then you don't have to have Jason Dickinson on that line. You can have him playing shutdown defense like you need him to, instead of Connor Bedard having to play shutdown defense.
We all silly like the mayor.